All right, so this is going to be a fun one because you can see from the title, what if the Invincible War happened in the Marvel Universe? So let's say instead of Angstrom's bringing all the evil variants of Invincible to the Image Universe, because we're going by comic here, not animated show, what if the Invincibles ended up in the Marvel Universe instead? And could the Marvel Universe stop the Invincible War? Like, could it stand? Could it hold its own against the Invincibles? Now, keep in mind, there isn't like a whole army of Invincibles. There's like, I think that if I remember right, it was like 40, it was around 40 of them. There was around 40 Invincibles. But keep in mind, and in the span of 3 days, and also, I'd like to remind everyone, I'm not a big Invincible guy. I just, I do peruse in that universe, but I wouldn't say I'm like a major fan of it. Like looking back, and I'm going to say something, and this is not a detriment on fans of Invincible. I know there's a lot of people in my subscriber count that really love Invincible, and that's totally fine. I'm glad you do. But I have tried to get into Invincible multiple times, whether it be show or movie, and I just can't do it. And there's a lot of things in the Invincible comic that just make me go, why, Kirkman, why? Like, especially all the stuff that happens to female characters. Like, everything that happens to female characters in the original Invincible comic, especially all the stuff they put Adam Eve through for what seems like unnecessary reasons, I'm just kind of like, why? Anyway, but if you enjoy Invincible, that's I have no problem. Like, love what you love. But yeah. But I thought it'd be kind of fun if, what if all over 40 Invincibles, evil Invincibles, showed up in the Marvel Universe, and could the Marvel Universe beat back the Invincible, what is essentially the Invincible War? Now, keep in mind, Invincible himself is pretty strong, and this is a time where a lot of these Invincibles have trained, they have just unrelenting strength, and they're completely psychotic and willing to kill. Here's the thing, though. A lot of the Marvel Universe is more than willing to kill. Like, even more so than the DC Universe. And keep in mind, I imagine that a lot of the Marvel Universe would be able to handle a lot of these Invincible variants. Now, would there be deaths? Yeah, I do think that a lot of these Invincibles variants would definitely 100% kill a lot of superheroes, and countless, and I do stress countless, civilians. But yeah, here's the other thing that the Marvel Universe has over the Invincible universe. There's a lot more heroes. There's a lot more people who can get to several places. It's not like, even if you go by the Image comics, and you had Spawn, and Bloodsport, and, not Bloodsport, what's his fucking name? Oh, I forget. It's Blood something. But Cyberforce, The Darkness, all of them are centralized, a Pit, and others. A lot of those characters are centered in American cities. So a lot of the globe was devastated because there wasn't enough heroes to help fight back against the Invincible variants. That's not the same problem we're going to have in the Marvel Universe. There's a good number, give or take a few countries, they have some superheroes. So let's say one Invincible variant shows up in London. Guess what? You run into Excalibur, and trust me, Brian Braddock, aka Captain Britain, is going to knock your teeth in the name of the British Empire. You also have in Russia, you have the Winter Guard, who are pretty strong in their own right. But would they be able to handle Invincible? They can handle I've seen the Winter Guard go toe to toe with the Hulk alone. So I think they could probably come up with something to kill whatever Invincible variant or variant. Probably one. I would say they could probably, if it was one Invincible variant coming to Moscow, the Winter Guard would probably handle him. But if it's 2 or 3, I think they're probably cooked. It's the same thing with Korea. Korea has the Tiger Division. And a lot of their characters could probably, I do imagine, Tiger Division would suffer some losses. But they do have Taigiri, who is who is almost like the Korean Superman. So I think he could I think he could hold them. But again, we run into that thing of like how and that is another thing we have to bring up is that there aren't a lot of Invincibles, but all of them are pretty powerful, and they're sparsed in throughout these countries. There's a good amount of Marvel heroes. A lot of them aren't as powerful as, Spawn or what have you, but there is enough to, like, the Avengers can coordinate. If the Avengers put out, like, an all priorities message, I guarantee you the entire globe is going to, answer. And it's not just the Avengers the variants have to battle. They have to battle the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the Defenders, Midnight Suns, fucking whoever. There are 10 other teams. The Eternals. I imagine Icarus is going to probably cave some Invincible skull in. And on top of that, what happens when, like, the big hitters of the Marvel universe come in? I guarantee you, I don't care. Like, Sinister Mark's gonna attack the Impossible City, which is the current base in comics for Jed McKay's Avengers, and that thing's alive and can probably hold its own. And while he's wrecking house, in comes fucking Hulk or Wanda, who's just gonna blink him out of existence. Yeah. I promise you, Wanda alone could probably kill a good few Invincibles. Like I said, let's say, if this happened during the Krakoa era, a few marks are gonna get murked. Not just by, it's a whole other thing to say if Wolverine's claws could cut through Invincible whatever Mark variant skins. They're not really prone to, being able to hold their own against psychic attacks. And I guarantee you, when Jean Grey enters the chat room, their brains are gonna get just turned to jello. And and I'm also including that, Emma, Charles, all the other major telepaths and psychics on Krakoa, who are just gonna be fucking, your brain's gonna start leaking out of your nose there, asshole. Yeah. And now, again, I do have to stress that even though the Invincibles are outnumbered, power-wise, they're still pretty strong. They're still pretty powerful. Remember, one Invincible could just wipe out a whole city, as we saw in the Invincible War. We saw how easy one Invincible can just devastate a city and kill a good number of heroes. So there's going to be a death toll here. I mean, I don't see Frank Castle holding his own against an Invincible variant one-on-one. And you could say, oh, but he fought the Sentry. Yeah, no, let me rephrase that. He fought the Sentry once, and it wasn't even a fight. It was, how can I survive long enough? Now, there are going to be other characters. You could even say, oh, what if a Invincible variant attacked the Baxter Building directly? Well, congratulations, you have to fight all of the Fantastic Four. Now, strength-wise, you'd be being your shit rocked by the Thing. The two characters that would clean house against Mark variants for numbers of reasons of the Fantastic Four are going to be, Sue Storm and Reed Richards. Sue on a number of reasons. Sue, even Reed has said, is the most powerful member of the team. And on top of that, she's made barriers now that can seal the whole world in a dome. It's not exactly logical, because then the world runs out of oxygen real fast, so she can only do it for a good amount of time, or she'd kill everyone on the planet. And on top of that, she can also create the, those little force field bubbles she can make? She could literally make them in your bloodstream and cause you to have a stroke or a heart attack with a thought. Yeah. So, and getting back to Reed, I know everyone's going to say, "Oh, but Stretchy Guy." Yeah, Stretchy Guy can also is the most intelligent being in the Marvel universe, and will probably come up with something in 5 minutes with some chewing gum and a paperclip to create some kind of anti-invincible ray. You laugh, but I have seen Reed Richards create man-made horrors beyond my mortal comprehension in 5 seconds flat. Yeah. And again, we're not even talking about if the other heavy hitters like Thor or the Hulk or even Sentry entering the room. There are tons of heavy hitters that could easily, like, once that APB gets put out, the Invincibles are going to be outnumbered. And again, I do see that these Invincibles would probably kill a lot of Marvel characters. If they attack Krakoa, a good amount of mutants are getting killed. Granted, if this was the Krakoa era, they get resurrected, but I digress. And we're not even talking about the villains that would step in. Do you know what would happen to any Invincible variant that stepped foot in Latveria? He's not going to die he's not going to die well. In fact, he's probably going to be dissected for a good couple of months by Victor Von Doom. And I haven't even gotten on other, like, the magical characters, too. I haven't even, like, started on the magical characters, like Ghost Rider, or Doctor Strange, or other magic, like Man-Thing. Like, could you just imagine, like, Man-Thing pulling up to the fight, and I don't know if any of the Mark variants feel fear, but, like, good luck punching a big pile of moss that will burn you with his touch. Now, characters like Punisher, Daredevil, Spider-Man, I think Peter could probably hold his own for a bit. Again, I don't see Punisher walking away from this. Moon Knight would probably not survive this. I would say, like, sadly, I think Luke Cage would probably not survive. Him and Jessica would probably not survive this, but the thing is, again, one of the major aspects of why the Invincible War was so devastating to what was essentially the Image universe was that while there aren't a lot of marks, there were less heroes that could fight. And also, a lot of them were on their own. There were a lot of heroes that were on their own, and there wasn't really like a coordinated effort. Here, you're battling a coordinated effort from an entire legion of superheroes that span the entire globe. I'm not saying it's going to be a cakewalk for fighting these guys, because I know how powerful Invincible was, or rather is. I know how powerful Mark Grayson is and how powerful some of these variants are. But I'm also aware that, like, if you come to the Marvel to Earth 616 looking for a fight, you're gonna get one. You're probably walking out with some limbs missing if you're lucky. At worst case scenario, you're probably walking out with on a slab. But anyway, so there you go, guys. You guys tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Could the Marvel Universe stand up to the Invincible War? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.